Hello to you. I hope you are all well, and greetings from the Human Resource Service Center. Today's topic is a very interesting topic, not very so different from the audios that you are listening to in our Human Resource Service Center channel, YouTube channel, and I'm sure that these audios are helping you a lot in terms of shaping your interview skills. But today we are going to mainly focus on something that is very key. It's to do with what are those areas that you need to mainly focus on when you want to impress the panel in the first few minutes of the interview. And mainly my discussion is going to focus on how to nail a job interview in the first few minutes of your interview. And I'll be speaking through a number of scenarios that you need to focus on, especially for those of you who are looking for jobs, or even those that are trying to change careers. What are those areas that you need to focus on that would help you to be noticed at the beginning of the interview? And my discussion mainly is going to focus on a few points that we need to put emphasis on. One of them is that you need to also understand is that the interview starts from the time you leave your house. That is when your interview actually starts. Once you leave your house, your interview has started. The interview starts long before you shake hands and sit down in front of your interviewer. You never know the people you meet along your way, or even in the office compound, even in the building, in the structure. Sometimes we go for interviews and you have to use the lift, and you find that in that lift, one of the people in the lift is a panelist, is going to sit on the interview, and they're going to make a decision on you. So it's very, very important that we take this very seriously, especially with the people that we interact with in the building, in the compound. We need to make sure that we project ourselves as being friendly, confident, professional from the moment we set off, because this is very, very key for us, and in terms of what we do. So it's very, very important that we set these kinds of standards. We make sure that you arrive early, so that it gives you enough time for you to settle, put your phone off. It's very, very embarrassing when your phone is calling during the interviews. Please put it in silent mode. I think that would be very good, because you see, once the phone rings when you are doing the interview, it disorganizes you. You lose focus because of that disruption that has been caused by the phone. Make those conversations with the receptionist, and take it in your surroundings. You might notice that something that will make useful small talk is around you. Many times there are things that we see at the reception and we don't take them seriously, but sometimes the things you see in the office will help you to come up with some talking points for your interview, and even to ask some very useful questions around some of the areas that that you see around you. So it's very, very important that we take that seriously. The other thing is we need to treat everyone we meet as the person that is going to interview you, as a person that is going to make a decision about you. Make sure that you are polite and friendly to everyone you meet across the interview processes, from greeting the receptionist, the people that you share the lift with, like I said, walking through an open plan office to reach out, meeting people These are all touch points with your potential future employer and colleagues, who will often share their impressions of the visitors afterwards. After you've gone, people will speak positively about you because they see you as somebody who is someone who can easily relate with people, someone who is able to come along with people and integrate within their culture. So it's very, very important. The other thing is you need to create a strong first impression. First impressions usually count, and non-verbal cues matter even more than verbal ones. So in those first few minutes, it is about smiling confidently, shaking hands firmly, making an eye contact, generally looking as if you are glad to see someone, you want, and also showing an impression that you are interested in this organization, you are interested in the job, in everything you do. Project an attitude of energy and interest in working for this organization. So this is also very, very important. The other thing is the issue about what you put on, the clothes that you put on. Try to match your dress code to that of the company you are meeting. You should be able to get some very good ideas about the company culture, dressing codes. Get to their social media handles, the platforms, there's Facebook page, their website, and see how people dress. So this also helps you to give you some ideas, especially in terms of how you present yourself. You want to project some kind of personality and charisma, but you also want to come across as a good fit for the organization, so that they don't have any doubts whenever they are making decisions. So it's very, very key for you to do this kind of background check, so that you understand the culture, the dressing code, and how people relate with one another, what are those things that make people happy. So that will also help you to integrate within the organization. Be ready for a small talk as part of the interview preparation. It is always a good idea to think ahead of some likely topics that might come up so that they help you to keep the conversation flowing smoothly. The key is to come up with topics where you may have a shared interest, so that you are able to both talk and answer credible questions. Look at the job advert. Look out for key topics. What are those thematic areas that you are confident talking about, so that they can help you stand out strongly? Think about those topical themes. For example, has your potential employer been attacked by, say, a virus recently, or that affected their systems and everything? Talk about the news things. Are there any things that have been announced, for example, improving in share capital, or the prices falling of shares and all this, and this has affected them? So you can look at that from a positive side and I would say negative side, kind of a SWOT analysis on what is working well, what are some of the areas of weaknesses, what opportunities do you envisage, and threats. So that will also help you to come up with a very productive discussion. Be on message from the onset. Sometimes we are very verbal and we talk about a lot of things that are not so relevant to the job that we are being interviewed, and many times we are not able to make it. We are not able to make a very good interview because you've wasted a lot of time talking about things that are not relevant to this job. So it's a good idea to have 2 or 3 key points that you want to make about what you have to offer and what makes you tick. This will really help you so much in terms of remaining focused. So you need to focus on some talking points that you want to interview to remember you about, and giving very solid and concrete examples. So try to work them in a natural way. Let your answers come out naturally, so that you don't seem like you are cramming things, but try to relate some of the talking points to some of your achievements, some of the milestones, some of the things that you've done in the past that you think that will create value, that will help you to demonstrate that value that you are bringing to this employer. So it's very, very important that you also focus on that. And I'm also going to tell you that this first impression, many times actually, in the first 10 seconds, people will get to know whether you are the right person for the job or not, from the first impression. So that's why it's very, very important. Sometimes we may have the experience and the qualification, but the impression that you create will affect the job interview. And of course, there are lots of surveys that have been done in this respect. For example, if I look at a few surveys that have been done, survey after survey highlights the importance of getting the first few minutes to impress the panelist. And the Monster survey from the UK survey that was done by the company called the Monster, they said that 6 in 10 managers say in the interviews, interviewees' dress sense has a big impact on their employability. You can see that from this survey they are talking about the dress code. The way you dress will have a very big impact in the kind of impression you create with people, especially the panelists that are interviewing you. And another survey by classes and careers also says it says that 30% of the bosses say they know within the 30 seconds whether they will hire someone. So that one is also a survey that tells you that within the 30 seconds people will know that this is the person that we need for the job or not, and most likely it turns out to be right. So these are the few things that I wanted to discuss with you, so that you again build on your technical skills. I know that you have the skills that you are bringing to the job, but there are also other things, the other attributes that you need to demonstrate ahead of this interview, right from creating that impression, so that then when you combine this first impression and of course with your technical expertise and experience you are bringing to the job, this will increase on your chances of getting this job. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I encourage you to continue listening to our videos that we posted in the Human Resource Service Center YouTube channel. This will strengthen your skills in writing your CVs, but also your skills in interviewing for different jobs. I look forward to speaking to you again, and take care. Bye-bye.